Morning, everybody. It's Donna from Donna's Sewing Circle. Come on in. We saved you a seat. Always room for another one. Today, if you are new here, we are on lesson 5 of our Pinwheel Quilt. This is a free pattern. I'm teaching you for free. I do charge if you want to learn in person. I have classes in Kentucky, but my students kept telling me I need to do an online course. I fought them for a long time, 6 months to be exact. And I tried various other channels and they were all flops. And finally I was like, okay, I'll try Sewing Channel. I don't think it'll go over because there's so many other sewing channels, but you all proved me wrong and I appreciate every one of you. Please subscribe if you want to support me and see more of my videos. I have so much more to come. I teach sewing, upcycling, and quilting. But today, like I said, we're on the Pinwheel Quilt. This is the second quilt I've taught on this channel. The first one is Jacob's Ladder, which is the very first quilt I teach my students when they come into my classroom. And then if they still want to learn more quilting, Pinwheel Quilt is the second one we do. Today, we are actually going to make the quilt front. To follow along, you can get this free pattern off my website, DONNA'S. Links are in the description and in the first comment. So follow along, get your free download. I would recommend that you take it to your library to print it out. Tell them you want to landscape, print it landscape, both sides. It cost me about 50 cents to do it at our library. I tried doing it at home on my computer. It failed. It printed it about the size as my phone, and I couldn't read it. So the librarians are qualified. They know how to print these things out. So I would recommend you take it to the library to print it out. All right, so on with today's instruction. Let me bring you down here so you can see what we're doing. Okay, so what we're going to do, we have 5 rows. We made this in class 4. So the very first row, I don't know if it shows it here. So we have to go by this. The very first row has the blue one in the corner like this. This is row 1. And every other row, where am I at? Every other row alternates. So if this one is the first row, the next row needs to be the peach as the first one. This is the last row because it's identical to the first row. So this is row 2. So to put these together, let me get all these out of the way. Okay, so we're going to lay it out, make sure everything is correct. All right, looks good. Here's my pattern. Okay, so these 3 are the green. Where am I? Right here. These 3 are the green. So these are correct. And this row is here. So everything is correct. So what we're going to do, they have to be right sides together. So we're going to flip it. This is the side we're sewing. So that is also the side we're going to pin. I cannot do things upside down, so I'm going to flip it. Okay, the first place we start is right here. Right here. This seam and this seam needs to match. They need to be nested. I've got a short video that shows you how to nest, but you put both seams together. See how the seams are nested together? Once you're sure they're in the right spot, I make a T or a cross. I'll put it one up and I'll put one sideways. And that will keep the fabric from shifting. See what I did? Now I'm going to double check, make sure they're still together. And they are. And then I'm going to pin these two blocks together so they don't shift while I'm sewing. And I usually pin just a little bit below my seam allowance. That way I don't have to remove a lot of pins as I'm sewing. I'll have to remove this one because I don't want to sew over that pin. So now we go on to the next seam, which is here. You're going to nest these two together. Pin them. You always want to double check your work. No fun sewing everything together and find out your seam slipped and you're way off. Take your time. This is your first or second quilt. Let me know how many quilts you've made. I'd love to know. You can also, on my website, DONNA'S, my email address is there. You can send me photos. I'd love to see your progress. Love to see what you're doing. Love to hear from you. Okay, the first row is pinned. I sew it one row at a time, and then I'll come back and do the next one. So let's go sew this one. First thing you want to do is check your thread and your bobbin. Worst thing in the world is to run out and be sewing half of your quilt and realize that you're missing your bobbin and you got to redo everything. So we put the weight of the strip in my lap. So just let it fall here in your lap. You don't want the weight of it just to hang there because it can pull your stitches. Okay, so let's start. Make sure everything is correct. All your seams are lined up. Everything looks good. Your quilt block needs to be running along the edge of your foot. 3 steps forward, 3 stitches back, and then you guide it like this with this hand here, and my other hand here is under my quilt. So I'm guiding it. Let me see. There. So I'm guiding it like this. It's like a steering wheel. Don't run over your pins. When you get to the end, it's 3 steps forward, 3 stitches back. Locks your stitches so they don't come undone. Then we cut the thread. Give yourself plenty of tail. If you don't, your thread will come out of your needle. Okay, let's go see what we got. Let's take our pins out. Remember, this block is the top of my quilt. That's a good seam. You see it? Yep. Look at that. Those lines come right together. This one's a little off, but it's okay. Do not, and this one came pretty close too. Do not stress over it if your lines are not perfect. We're not here to make a perfect quilt. We're here to make a quilt. So don't stress. Perfectionism doesn't reside in our quilting room. So don't stress over it. Especially if this is your first quilt, just be thankful you're even going. Because a lot of people dream of making their first quilt, but nothing ever happens. Okay, the next block is this one. So that makes 3 rows of green, which we have. So you know that's correct. Now I want to double check, make sure everything lines up. Then we're going to flip it. Like I said, I cannot pin upside down, so I'm going to turn my quilt around before I start pinning. Remember to line your seams up. Called nesting. Nest your seams. That's important. If you want your seams to line up, you need to nest them. Then you come back here and you line these up. I actually start my next class in my in-person classes begins next week. I'll be teaching on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in person. It might slow down my uploads on YouTube because I won't be able to record. Actually, I plan on doing some recording with my students if they're okay with it. So look forward to that. Being able to watch me teach my actual students in person. One of the classes will be Quilt as You Go. I'm teaching it. And the Quilt as You Go is will actually be the pinwheel quilt. I teach you how to quilt as you go with the pinwheel quilt. And I will be teaching beginning sewing to I believe two students. And then I'll be teaching a quilting class. I think it's Jacob's Ladder for the other student. So I've got 2 beginners, 1 quilt as you go, and then 1 quilting class. So stay tuned and you'll be able to see that. That'll be next week. Okay, I've got this one pinned. I'm going to sew it and then I'll be right back. You there? You know that one's off a little. Must just be that block. I don't know. Anyway, it happens. And I'm the teacher and it happens to. Even the teacher has imperfect blocks. So don't stress if you have them. All right, the next quilt row, begins with the pink one here. It goes underneath the green one there. Make sure everything looks good before you flip it. Nest your seams together. All right, got this one pinned. I'm going to sew it. We're almost done. How are you ladies doing? You keeping up? I'd love to hear your progress. I know there's some of you making these quilts, not just watching me make it. Oh, I went to a wedding over the weekend, and one family, actually, is the bride's family, is from California. They're some of our friends. We've had them for years and years. And their kids started laughing. They said, "We got the funniest accent." Do I have an accent? Do I sound like a cowboy country hick from Kentucky? I've been told I got an accent. I'm kind of curious. Comment below what kind of accent, if I have an accent, or if those girls are just cuckoo. Okay, this is our last row. Everything looks good. So I'm going to flip it and pin it. Are y'all enjoying my videos? I've got quite a few on now that you can follow along, and you can do upcycling, sewing, quilting. Are y'all enjoying them? Is there a video you'd like to see that I haven't done yet? I believe my next quilt is going to be an applique quilt. The little Dutch girls, I teach that in my classes also. Type below if you'd like to see the Dutch girls be next. Let me know. I have a granddaughter, and I made a really cool one for her. Every one of the Dutch girls was different dress, different everything. I even gave them hair that's sticking out from their bonnets. It was actually Barbie doll hair. It's pretty cool. Not sure how washable it is. All of her dolls, Dutch dolls, will be bald after a. So that probably wasn't a smart move on my part, but it sure is a cute quilt. I won't be teaching you how to do that. It'll just be a regular Dutch girl quilt. Okay, this is our last row. Let's go sew it. You line it up, fabric even with your foot. Forward 3, back 3. Lock your stitches. Guide your stitches with your hands. Your hands are your steering wheel. The quilt has to go where you instruct it to go. Make sure the quilt's on your lap and not hanging on the floor. Back 3, forward 3, lock your stitches, and we are done. Let's take our pins out. If you haven't subscribed, doesn't cost you anything. Just subscribe so you don't lose me in the World Wide Web. It'd be awful to get this far along in your quilt and then you can't find the rest of my videos to show you how to finish it. Okay, now let's do a debut. There's the Pinwheel quilt. Well, Even the teacher can get it wrong. Do you see my mistake? It still came out awful pretty. Can you see it? Row 4. If you notice, all I said was to match this cream colored block with this block up here. I didn't match the rest of it. I have it on upside down. So it doesn't make the line I was hoping it would make, but it still turned out really pretty. How about you? Did you make the same mistake? It doesn't matter. I'm not taking it out. Don't you take it out either. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. Only God is perfect. Okay. See, I'm not stressing out about it. If I, being the instructor, don't stress out about it, you shouldn't either. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. That's not a seam ripping the fence right there. So that is the end of lesson 5. How did you do? Did you do better than the instructor today? I'll see you tomorrow in lesson 6, where we will attach the backing and get it ready, and we will do quilt in the ditch tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.